Alrighty, everyone, thanks for joining this weather stream. I am KSAT meteorologist Sarah Spivey, and we are going to talk about our increasing storm chances this weekend. I'm going to get my hand tracker set up here. I also want to remind everybody that I am live not only on the KSAT Weather Authority app, not only on KSAT Plus, not only on KSAT.com, but also on YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now, and if you're joining us on YouTube, I want you to ask me your questions. Ask them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. And if you're watching us in a way and you want to, in a different way other than YouTube, and you want to ask questions, you can go ahead and do that. Again, on YouTube, the KSAT 12 channel, subscribe to the KSAT 12 channel, and you'll be able to ask your weather questions. Okay. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. We're going to have a big chance for storms on Saturday night. Pretty much Saturday afternoon through Saturday evening into Sunday morning. A 90% chance of storms Saturday night in San Antonio. So we are more than likely going to be seeing our best shot at rain in quite some time. Now, as I take a look at the radar right now, I want you to notice it is fairly quiet. This is a look at the Authority radar. You can see that we really just have some light rain occurring out near Rock Springs and Del Rio. The radar that's actually nearer to Del Rio right now, it's in Brackettville. It's actually not functioning. So what we're seeing right now is the radar out in New Braunfels shooting its beams all the way over to Del Rio and Rock Springs. So it's kind of seeing a little bit up farther in the clouds. So not really seeing probably a lot of this actually falling to the ground. But it is quiet right now. Again, the main show is going to be Saturday night into Sunday morning when we see a higher chance of a few storms then. And we've got all of the ingredients coming together for storms. In order to have storms, you need three ingredients. You need lift, you need moisture, and you need instability. Lift is how we get showers and storms to form. They lift up high into the atmosphere, causing condensation. Go back to when you learned about the water cycle. Again, that is why we need lift. Moisture, we need moisture for rain. That's obvious. And instability is what allows for storms to become storms. They grow tall. Instability allows those storms to grow tall. So let's take a look at the setup. This is a look at Saturday right around 11 a.m. So what I want you to notice is there's a couple of things. There's a big upper level low providing us with upper level energy and moisture. And then at the same time, there's lower level moisture coming in off of the Gulf. So at the very surface, you've got a lot of moisture, and all the way up top into the atmosphere, you've got a lot of moisture as well. So we're stacked as far as moisture is concerned. That upper level low is helping to provide the lift. And as far as instability goes, we're really not going to see rain in San Antonio until the afternoon hours when that front moves through. And there's going to be a cold front moving through San Antonio. We can show you that here in the Futurecast. This cold front is going to kind of help us really make all of the difference. That front is not going to move through San Antonio until Saturday afternoon and evening. So again, at 11 a.m. on Saturday, it's still going to be fairly dry around the Alamo City. Now up near Dallas-Fort Worth and Texarkana, that's where they're going to already have storms ongoing on Saturday itself. But Saturday afternoon is when we'll likely start to see storms firing off for the Alamo City. So if you have Saturday morning plans, I'd keep them. But anytime after 2 p.m., you're really going to want to be weather aware because that's when storms are going to start to fire off. Notice not completely widespread, fairly spotty storms still nonetheless, but it's along that front that we could start to see some of the dangerous type of weather, gusty winds, hail, those kinds of things. Saturday afternoon into the early evening, that is our highest threat for severe weather when it comes to damaging wind gusts and hail. Then as we head into Saturday evening, that front is going to be moving through, and in its wake, quite literally in the front's wake, what we're going to see are rounds of storms coming in from the southwest around that low pressure system that I was showing you earlier. And watch as Saturday night into Sunday morning, this is 1 a.m. on Sunday morning, you can start to see that there will be a few more showers and storms out there, a higher coverage on Saturday night into Sunday morning. So we expect widespread rain Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's why there's a 90% chance for rain. Then watch what happens during the day on Sunday. We'll start the day with areas of rain, and then by the afternoon, a lot of that rain will start to fizzle out, at least temporarily. So if I can give you a bit of a summary here, we can take a look at the weekend breakdown. This is a great example of what we can expect. So this is Saturday. Saturday's forecast, high of 82. It's going to be warm. Remember, storms are likely not really going to start and get going until after 2 p.m. on Saturday. So we're still going to be warm. We're going to build some of that instability that allows for us to see severe weather at times. And then by the evening, 6 o'clock, we're going to have widespread rain around the area into the evening as well overnight. Notice that temperatures drop quite a bit too. We'll be in the 80s, and by midnight we're going to be in the 50s after that front moves through. Then on Sunday, what we're going to see is lingering morning rain. Higher chance for rain in the morning than in the afternoon on Sunday, and Sunday is going to be quite a bit cooler than Saturday because Sunday is going to be a somewhat damp, fairly cloudy, much cooler day, high of 67. So if you have weekend plans, you might want to start to think about rescheduling those plans if they happen after 2 p.m. Saturday, outdoor plans after 2 p.m. Saturday, and I would say before 2 p.m. on Sunday. So about a 24-hour period where we're going to have fairly messy weather from 2 p.m. Saturday to about 2 p.m. on Sunday. Now, another way to look at things is just to kind of talk about the headlines. What are the big things you need to know? This is a great example here. Saturday, storms are likely after 2 p.m. What we'll be watching for on Saturday after 2 p.m., that's when we have the highest threat for severe weather. We're talking damaging wind gusts and hail. Perhaps hail up to the size of golf balls will be possible with some of the worst and more intense storms. It is impossible to know if it's going to hail at your house. It's impossible to know that. Even the day of, it's going to be impossible until the storm forms and we can actually track it. And we will be live right to your phone tracking those storms if they do pop up. So that's Saturday. Saturday night is when we're going to have widespread rain. Remember, behind that front on Saturday night. And whenever we have widespread rain, in San Antonio in particular, we have to watch out for street flooding. And we're going to talk about rainfall amounts here in just a second. We'll be watching for street flooding. So again, if you can stay home Saturday night, if you can stay off of the roads Saturday night, I would highly recommend that. Even if we don't have flooding, who wants to drive in widespread rain? Not that many people. And then Sunday is when we'll still have some lingering rainfall. I think the severe weather risk on Sunday is going to be a lot less. All right, so I mentioned that I was live on YouTube as well, and it's on YouTube that people can ask questions. So you'll hear me clicking, and I'm going to see if I can see any questions. Great. I've got one from Chris Silva. What time does the rain look like it's hitting San Antonio? Thank you, Chris. Again, as I mentioned, likely after 2 p.m. on Saturday is when the rain will probably start more widespread. Question for Katie Johnson. What about Blanco? Blanco tonight and tomorrow during the day. Thank you, Katie, for asking that question. Blanco is likely not going to see much of any rain tonight or tomorrow. Now, there is the small possibility for 1 or 2 isolated showers or storms. Let's go up to Blanco here in Blanco County. Oh, I need to turn my hand tracker back on. Again, you guys are kind of getting like the behind the scenes look. It's pretty neat. So please ask me any questions that you have. Again, for those of you who don't know, I had a question about Blanco and what they'll see tonight, tomorrow. Blanco, unlike yesterday in Blanco, they did end up having a few storms in the area. Tonight, I think it's going to be harder for Blanco to see any showers or storms. Tomorrow, there's a small 20 to 30% chance, but tonight, it's not looking that likely in that area. So again, ask me more questions on YouTube. I'd love to be able to answer those questions. Thank you to Chris and to Katie. So let's talk about drought and rainfall here. We have the latest drought monitor out from the drought monitor service here, and you can see that we ended up seeing exceptional drought, which is the worst category of drought in this maroon color. It's expanded to the east. So it's expanded to cover even parts of Atascosa County here, well southwest of Pleasanton. I would not be surprised if we start to see exceptional drought creep back into San Antonio. In Bexar County, we have been in perpetual drought since January of 2022. So that's quite some time, 4 years of continual drought. But the latest drought monitor does show that the extreme drought here, which is in this red color, has expanded toward Bryan College Station, with the exceptional drought down near Falfurrias and also near Cotulla, and the Big Bend of Texas is experiencing exceptional drought as well, the worst category of drought. So we need a drink of water, and we're going to get a drink of water this weekend, which is great news. I think this rainfall graphic shows pretty well what we can expect as far as rain is concerned. Generally, anywhere you see the green color here, that's at least an inch of rain. The yellows is where you start to get into 2+ inches of rain territory. And then you can see there's some bullseyes here. Now, don't pay attention exactly to where the potential this is showing the heaviest of the rain. This band of heavy rain could set up anywhere. It could set up in northwest Bexar County. It could set up near Floresville. This is just one computer model's best guess at where the heaviest of the rain could set up. But what we do think is going to happen is we think that most people, including you and in your backyard, will get maybe about an inch of rain. I'm trying to get this to go away there. There we go. Most folks will get about an inch of rain. That is almost guaranteed, an inch of rain at least. Some folks will get 3 inches of rain. It's impossible to know exactly where that 3 inches of rain is going to set up. And then there will be a couple of bullseyes that see 4+ inches of rain. And it's whatever areas get those bullseyes that we really have to watch out for street flooding. When I talk about flooding, a lot of people's mind immediately go to the July 4th floods that we experienced in Kerrville and in the Hill Country last year. To put that in context for you, that was over a foot of rain, so 12+ inches of rain. So while this is going to be a substantial rainfall event for some isolated areas, it is not going to be anywhere near the devastating rain we got back in July of last year. Now, could there still be some minor to moderate river flooding if that bullseye sets up right at the headwaters of a river? Absolutely, there could in theory, but it would be really it's probably not going to be a situation like what we saw back on July 4th. So just want to put everybody's minds at ease there. All right, let's see what we can talk about next. Well, let's talk about the aquifer, because here in San Antonio, the aquifer is about 40 feet below the monthly average for the month. The aquifer, we need the rain to fall along the Edwards Aquifer recharge zone. And I've outlined that here. Now, up in the Hill Country, this is what we call the contributing zone. And in the Hill Country, what will happen is water will fall into the Hill Country, and eventually it works its way into the aquifer. So pretty much anywhere north of this recharge zone, if we can get some decent rain, that is good news for the aquifer. That means we'll probably see a little bit of a rise in the aquifer level after this weekend, at least a little bit of a rise in the aquifer level. I'm hoping that these bullseyes happen right over the recharge zone. Fun fact, the recharge zone is, the aquifer is a lake of water beneath our feet. A lot of us know that. And it's made out of limestone, porous limestone called karst. It looks like a sponge, okay? If you live anywhere near the recharge zone here, okay, that's inside of this red color, so up near Helotes, Government Canyon area, you go for a hike out there, you see those giant pieces of karst, holy limestone, and I don't mean like, oh, holy, I mean like literally that has holes in it, and that is an opening to the aquifer, essentially. The caves around here, the Bracken Cave, is an opening to the aquifer where the water goes right into the aquifer and fills it up. So what I'm hoping is that a lot of this heavier rainfall falls right over that aquifer recharge zone. All right, a lot of people, it is the first weekend of spring break for a lot of people, so I want to talk about Texas travel, and then we'll talk about a beach forecast. So you can see on Saturday what we're going to be dealing with across the state is that front moving through, right? But this is early Saturday morning. So if you have plans to hit the road on Saturday, hit the road early, okay? Because that front is really going to fire off storms into the late morning and early afternoon across North Texas. So if you're trying to go to the coast on Saturday, leave early on Saturday, because this is what's going to happen Saturday during the afternoon. Those storms will start to develop in places, not only around San Antonio, but across Texas. This is Saturday evening, close to midnight. You can see that on Saturday itself, it's going to be much cooler in North Texas than in South Texas. Laredo's going to be 94 on Saturday. Then during the day on Sunday, if you want to head out the door, maybe Sunday in the later afternoon, that's your safer bet across the state of Texas, because again, that rain will start to wind down a little bit. I'm going to take a pause here and I'm going to see if there are any more questions on YouTube from folks. Let's see. Again, thank you to everybody who's tuned in to this appcast. Awesome. Hi guys, I've got more questions. Thank you guys so much. Okay. This question is from Jack, and Jack is saying, is there going to be a tornado on Saturday? That's a great question, Jack. The tornado threat in San Antonio on Saturday is very, 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 very low. You're more likely, if you do get a severe storm on Saturday, to see a gusty wind, damaging gusts possible, and also hail. Those are the main levels of severe weather that would be possible. Tornadoes, it's very, very low. It's not zero. I can't guarantee absolutely no tornadoes, but it's very, 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 very low. Great question there. Let's go ahead. We were just talking about travel across the state of Texas. We can't forget the beaches. So I want to show you your beach cast. You have to be careful when I say that. Let me show your beach cast here. Give me a second to reconnect the hand tracker so that I can track what's happening. Again, thank you to everyone who is currently watching us on YouTube, on KSAT Plus, on the KSAT Weather Authority app. This is exactly what you should do if we do have severe weather. We're going to be live as a weather team on the app and on air as necessary. So I want to show you the beach forecast. I spent a lot of time building this, so here we go. Okay, let's zoom into the beaches. There we go, look at that. Okay, so the water is not necessarily pretty warm. It's not really warm. It's 70 to 75 degrees, so it's warm-ish, but it's not as warm as it is in the summer. In the summer, it's like 80 degrees and like bathtub water, essentially. So South Padre looks pretty good, especially Saturday. High temperature in the 70s on Saturday. Even on Sunday, a low-end chance of rain. But take a look at Corpus Christi on Saturday. There's a small chance for a couple of showers and much higher storm chances on Sunday on Corpus Christi. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to take a little quick drink of water. Oh, and thank you. Somebody liked and commented on my holy comment. I appreciate that. I was talking about the holy limestone. Okay. So, yeah, so you can see Corpus Christi is going to be kind of sketch for the weather on Sunday. Sketch means sketchy for all the cool kids out there. And in Galveston, it's going to be pretty Not great. Storms on Saturday, about a 60% chance, and then 70% chance on Sunday for rain. So those of you who chose to go to South Padre, you win for the weather this weekend, at least. Okay, so I just want to kind of put everything together for you again. When we look at our rain chances are going to be highest Saturday night into Sunday morning, 90% chance. I honestly cannot remember the last time I put a 90% chance of rain on the forecast this far out. So we're fairly confident we're going to get some widespread showers and storms on Saturday night. Here are the main things to remember. On Saturday, storms are likely after 2 p.m. It's after 2 p.m. that we really have to watch those storms because they could become severe with damaging wind gusts and hail, a possibility. That's when severe weather is most likely, after 2 p.m. on Saturday. Then as you're getting ready to go to bed, the rain is going to become more widespread. Not necessarily severe with damaging gusts and hail, but there could be some really slow-moving showers and storms on Saturday night, and that's when we could see the risk for street flooding. So if you can stay home Saturday night, I think that's probably your best bet. And then Sunday, we're going to have lingering showers, perhaps a storm in the morning hours on Sunday. So that's just another way to look at the forecast. Here's another way to look at it. We can break down the weekend pretty much every other hour over the weekend, or every 3 hours or whatever. So Saturday, 82 for the high. It's still going to be warm because remember, we're not really going to see rain until after 2 p.m. on Saturday, so we're going to be able to warm up during the day. So notice that rain chances really don't start to ramp up until after 2 p.m. 80% chance at 6 p.m., 90% chance at midnight. Temperatures will drop because we'll be behind a front on Saturday evening, and we'll have lots of rain in the area. And then even on Sunday in the morning, 60% chance. So we're likely going to wake up to some rain on Sunday. So if you have Sunday morning plans and you got to head out the door, just know that you might have to deal with some rain, some low water crossings being closed, those kinds of things. That happens anytime we get some decent rain around San Antonio. And then notice that rain chances really start to taper off after 2 p.m. on Sunday. So from 2 p.m. Saturday to 2 p.m. Sunday, that's when we expect the most widespread rain. Temperatures on Sunday are only going to be in the 60s. And that is because of the rain and the fact that we're behind a cool front. So we're going to be much cooler on Saturday. And you can see here on the 7-day forecast, actually technically it's 8 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I got to change that to 8-day forecast. We do put everything together here for you. The rest of the day today is going to be warm, 87. Tomorrow is going to be warm, 84. There's a small chance for a shower storm. I had a question from a viewer about rain chances tomorrow. Only a small chance, 20% for a storm or two, especially west of San Antonio. And then in the afternoon on Saturday, that's when we'll start to see higher rain chances continuing overnight, Saturday into Sunday. Remember, we lose an hour of sleep on Sunday morning too, as we spring forward, And you can see that we do see storm chances return to the forecast on Tuesday. And the reason for that is that big upper level low that I showed you earlier in our setup. That big upper level low right here. That's finally going to move out of the area on Tuesday. I just had one of my colleagues walk in. I need to know, do you guys need to use anything in here? You're good? Okay, awesome. Just double checking. And so that low is going to move through on Tuesday, and that's why we have a storm chance on Tuesday as well. We need rain. We're in drought. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rain chances again here. I'm going to check YouTube one more time to see if there's any more questions that I can answer from you, our lovely viewers. Oh, okay, great. Great question. Hi, Sarah. So Sunday would stop after church, 12 p.m., the rain. Yeah, it's likely that the rain on Sunday, I think after 2 p.m. is the safest bet for when the rain will be done on Sunday. But again, we're still quite a few days away, right? We're still 1, 2, 3.5 days away from Sunday. Continue to keep your plans on Sunday afternoon, but stay up to date with the forecast. All right, so I just want to thank everyone for joining us on this appcast, whether it's on ksat.com or KSAT Plus or on the Weather Authority app, and especially on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. Meteorologist Adam Caskey is going to be on KSAT at 5, 6, and 10 tonight. He's going to crunch the numbers, have his latest forecast as well. Again, you can, even if we do get some severe weather, we are going to be right here with you, walking you through it. And as always, please send your pictures into KSAT Connect. We'd love to see those. So thanks, everyone. Hope you have a great evening.